Welcome to a quick presentation on 8 ways that GPS fleet tracking may add $6,000 per vehicle to your company bottom line every year. A company that has a fleet of vehicles is presented with an expensive and also important problem. The vehicles and drivers may exhaust as much as 90% of the resources and liability of their company. And yet, that company may only know for sure what their vehicles and drivers are doing as little as 10% of the time. If we look at an individual average annual basis, assuming one driver per vehicle, we use an employee total cost of $30,000 and a vehicle cost of ownership of $12,000. We try to use conservative numbers, but when combined, it's $42,000. If we apply that to 10 vehicles, it's an investment of $420,000. If we look at 25 vehicles, that's over $1 million investment. When presented with that scenario, how do you make sure that you're realizing the greatest return on your investment? The answer is Virtual Fleet Supervisor. GPS fleet tracking can impact your business in 2 ways, by increasing your revenue and reducing your costs. We'll look at each of these ways individually. The first way is by increasing your fleet's productivity. With GPS fleet tracking, your employees know that they're always on the clock. They're held accountable for every second of the workday. You eliminate all frivolous stops. Ideally, you'd increase the number of service calls, appointments, and stops. If you were to add only 2 additional service calls, appointments, or stops per week at a $50 profit point, that would be up to an extra $2,600 per employee per year. The second way is to help you win more clients. If you're in an industry where your product and service is similar to others, letting the customer know you utilize fleet tracking is a way to differentiate yourself. You can provide guaranteed service times and appear more professional because you've invested in cutting-edge technology to serve them better. What's the value of adding 1 additional client every single month due to having GPS? The next way is by retaining current clients. If you can provide better customer service to your clients through instant and accurate location details of where your employees are and what they're doing, would that be of benefit to you? Would your clients appreciate it if you could produce feature-rich reports that would provide solid proof of service? Another factor is the reduction of response times for service calls. We can improve your routing through our dispatch tool to help determine what the most appropriate vehicle would be to send. Do you have any clients that would appreciate you providing them with all this information? Let's talk about how to eliminate or cut your costs. The first way would be to cut your payroll cost. You'll be able to eliminate all the billed minutes that weren't actually worked. There are many times when an employee may be padding their time card. VFS prevents that. You can also reduce accounting costs because you can create a virtual time card and set that for automatic creation every week. You can eliminate time spent by employees having to record all their times. You can potentially reduce having to pay expensive overtime wages if they weren't truly earned. Normally, 20 minutes per day of payroll savings at $20 per hour. That's savings of $1,620 per employee every year. Another way is by reducing vehicle wear and tear. You can eliminate all unauthorized driving, use driving tools to cut down on unnecessary mileage driven, and use our dispatching feature to find the closest vehicle to a client location. You can also track all your scheduled maintenance required for the vehicles and be alerted when tasks are due, allowing you to minimize out-of-service time and avoid the larger problems that will be caused by late or forgotten service. VFS can help you create a green initiative by reducing your environmental impact. Looking at the numbers, only 5 miles per day of eliminated drive time with a cost of 35 cents per mile maintenance costs, as well as depreciation, equals the savings of $420 per year per employee. Anytime you're putting less mileage on your vehicle, you're also reducing your total fuel spent. We'll help you create a speeding policy to realize better fuel economy. VFS helps you eliminate unnecessary idling, saving gallons of gas. Only 2 gallons of gas saved per week can save as much as $300 per employee per year. Let's discuss how we can decrease your overall liability. You can ensure vehicles are not going places that will tarnish your reputation as a company, as well as eliminate off-hours liability exposure. For many of the companies we work with, if their drivers are in an accident on the weekend, they're still liable even if they weren't supposed to be driving the vehicle at that time. You can create and enforce speeding policies to possibly reduce accidents and negative attention in the community. Having live anti-theft protection on each of your vehicles gives you a peace of mind. You can often reduce your vehicle insurance and workers' compensation premiums, something you can check with your provider. In the past 3 years, have you had any company liable accidents or reports of poor driving by your employees? What value would having proof of their driving behavior provide you? Another way to reduce costs is by eliminating billing credits. You can provide proof of service and always know when and where your fleet is. There's no way for your clients to say, "You weren't here." You can also eliminate those credits due to customer complaints of lateness, especially if you provide an on-time guarantee. You'll know for sure if your driver was there or if they weren't. And if they were, you can provide it to your clients. You end up gaining customer trust because you can provide that proof of service. Have you ever been forced to give a billing credit that you couldn't verify the validity of the claim? If so, how will it help to know who is to blame, whether it be the client or your driver? So now that we've talked about all the ways that this will help you as a company, let's talk about why your drivers will actually want this. Many companies find this surprising, but there's really a number of reasons why. Employees have a way to prove they're doing their job correctly. They appreciate that other drivers can't take advantage of the company since they aren't doing so. We can help you create incentives for them to change their behavior. For instance, if you maybe determine who has the least amount of idling for the month, they can win a $25 gift card. You can also eliminate them having to write down their hours by automating that process. They'll never have to worry about feeling responsible about the vehicle being stolen on their watch because they'll have true anti-theft protection on their vehicles. You can also help lost drivers figure out where they are and where they need to go. One of the most important benefits is that a driver has a better chance of keeping their job if the company they're working for is fiscally stronger due to eliminating unnecessary costs. Take advantage of our 30-day risk-free trial by calling 1-800-746-5170 or complete the risk-free trial form at www.virtualfleetsupervisor.com.